Yeah, no, it was an amazing night for PFL.
Well, a lot of us shed tears that night. Right? It took you halfway through the show. Lewis Taylor's little daughter, man, when she was crying and they showed her,
Right.
I started to get teary eyes. I was like, wow, because it hit me at that moment. We say things to promote fights and to support the organizations and things like that. And I said it plenty of times. I know the guys did. Every time we had a PFL athlete on, especially as we were getting closer, we kept saying life-changing opportunities.
Right.
You know, I focused a lot on the money. The guys didn't, but I did. But I kept saying, hey, that's a big thing, you know, or whatever. But the minute he won and they panned back to his family, first they panned to him just like other families, you know. But rarely are the kids shown as much. But in this instance, it was the whole family, so it was really, really cool. And then when they went back and one of them was super happy, the wife is super happy, and the other one was just different levels of emotion.
Right.
And then he goes in there and says the house is paid, their schooling's paid, they're all together, man. That was emotional for me.
No, it really was because, I mean, Lewis Taylor is he has such a great story because if you look at Lewis Taylor probably was one of, and, you know, I'll admit it, he's probably one of the last guys you would think will get to the finals and win it. And the way he won it, I mean, like, he just stopped a guy that's never been stopped before. And within 33 seconds, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a real Cinderella story. I was super happy for him because, again, like he said in the cage, his house is paid, his kids' college is paid, like all these kind of things, and you just go, wow, that's just incredible story.
And he's coming back. We talked to him yesterday,
Exactly.
right, guys?
Exactly.
He's coming back.
Oh, he's amped.
Yeah.
He can't wait to come back.
Yeah,
I can't wait to have him back too because, you know, again, when the season started, there were guys that really stood out. Well, and all those guys that stood out lost their first regular season fights, and then didn't make the playoffs. Some just barely made the playoffs and lost in the playoffs. So, I mean, the thing about PFL season and the format, you just never know. You just never know who's going to come through.
What were some other special moments Monday night that stood out to you that maybe either we saw and shared with you, you being in person, us watching it on TV, or maybe that we didn't see?
I think the whole night as a whole was truly amazing. I mean, I think when the first round started, there was a packed house already. So, I mean, everything about that night was, you know, again, like I've said this at the post-press conference, you plan things and you just, you know, hope it works out. But then when it works out and more, you just go, wow, this is truly amazing. And I think the team at PFL did an amazing job. And it's not a one-man job. And I was really proud not only of all our fighters, but also of the whole team because everybody worked their butt off to get the show to where it was.
Can you even take like a sigh of relief? Because it feels like, yeah, it ended, but season 2 feels like it's already here. Like it's already, for one, you're here right now.
Right. I mean, I just finished coaching. You know, I arrived 2 days ago. I had yesterday off, and I'm in the gym today. This morning, I'm here, and then, you know, pretty much, you know, everything just, it's funny. I was driving home just yesterday. I'm like, it's the second already? Like, it just felt like it was New Year, and it's already going again. You know what I mean? So May is going to be around the corner, and you're right back at it.
We already have questions for season 2. You want to start?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Some things that happened that we weren't expecting. Sean O'Connell is a millionaire.
Right.
But he said, I'm done. I'm not going to come back next season. However, he's had a role with some broadcasting with you guys.
Right.
Is he a possibility to come back in that role?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's going to be George's call, Greenberg. George is a great partner, and he's in charge on that side. And I mean, Sean does a great job anyway on the broadcast. The first time I actually had heard Sean live was when he was interviewing Carlos and I, and he was freaking amazing. I was like, wow, okay, he's good. Then I heard him on the broadcast. I thought, okay, he is, you know, he is pretty good. Again, he knows the game. Anybody that understands the game knows that when they get on that broadcast, I mean, they know exactly what they're seeing, what they're looking at. what they're feeling, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, yeah, absolutely. I think he'll play a big part in that on that side of things.
Yesterday, we spent a good chunk of our show talking about how disappointed we were that the UFC let Jimmy Smith go. That's a big name.
Oh, that's right.
Is that a name that could possibly show up for season 2?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. We haven't really thought about it. Well, we haven't talked about it or anything like that, just because we literally just got done.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw that yesterday too. And Jimmy is, he's great at what he does. Again, I got to talk to the team and see where we're at. I mean, listen, we had Randy Couture, we had Buzz Rutten as our color commentators, and then now Sean O'Connor is retired, and that's the side of things that he wants to come into. So we just have to wait and see.
What was your phone like the night of, as far as text, phone calls, not just from people that were involved with the show, people outside, different organizations saying, hey, man, I want to come for season 2. Like, when did all that start?
That's what I want to know, yeah. Are the managers and the fighters hitting you up for season 2?
Yep. I mean, I've had people come up to me, even at the after party. Ray, please, you got to sign this guy. He's freaking amazing. This guy, that guy. I'm like, just email me the list and let me go through it. The final decisions are going to be made no later than probably the 15th of this month.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Shit. You'll have all the 72 names or whatever you're deciding? Wow.
Yep.
Open a lot of doors, though.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to maybe wait it out till, like March or April or something.
Like I said, what's the date today? It is the third today already.
You know what, Ray? I don't want to sound corny, but every year I look forward to certain things. In February, I believe it's the first Wednesday when all the high school football athletes announce what college they're going to.
Valentine's Day.
And then the NFL draft. Yeah. Then the NFL draft. All these athletes, what team are they going to go to? There's certain day, like there's a day when the English Premier League releases their schedule or the NFL schedule
Trading
or whatever.
deadlines.
I'm really looking forward to. Is it going to be all at once? Like, here's all of them, or every day are you going to release a division? I'm really anxious to see that. I say that with pure sincerity, man.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of people that's looking forward to that too. I mean, obviously the fighters also got to know who's in and who's out,
right?
Or who didn't make it, because I have a whole list of fighters.
Wow.
With in different divisions. Of course, there's at least 4 or 5 guys that will be coming back from the last season.
Right.
But the rest is going to be made up of new fighters that's on the scene, guys that are free agents.
And what's fair is it gives everybody else a chance to react and move on if they didn't make it, right?
Right, exactly.
No sense in holding that too. In fact, I thought I peeked over and you guys were looking at Coachella. Same thing. I look forward to the Coachella release.
Yeah.
To see who's going to be on or whatever. Brad, don't worry. Katy Perry will be. Headlining.
Seen her already.
Oh, okay. But anyway, the 15th, awesome, man. That's great news. You're really just keeping the train going.
Yeah, you gotta. I'm always on the grind, and I love what I do. It's work, but it's not work, if you understand what I mean. Mm-hmm. Again, just giving fighters opportunities is probably the most pleasurable thing that I do right now. And I'm just signing a contract and handing it to the guys and you can see them, watch them glow, because an opportunity like this, I mean, look at who we presented $1 million check to each of those 6 guys that night. Sean O'Connor just retired as a millionaire, and I'm sure he never thought that would be possible at any stage of his life. And
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Felipe Lenz said the same thing.
Yeah,
he never thought that could happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, when he was saying that people were already at the after party, I was thinking, man, let the guy breathe. But in this sport, you really can't do that. You have to stay on top, especially if you're a manager and all that.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, Ray?
I'm standing over there, but like 2 minutes before I actually walked in here, I was on a phone call with Ali. Brother, we need to sit down. There's a lot.
Then he probably
right.
Then he probably wouldn't have a problem with us saying, "Hey, you want to co-host January 15th?"
yeah, really. We should book you for January 15th, man.
Smart.
So, Ray, let me ask you this. I don't know what you can tell us, but the more the better. Straight now for me, we've had you on the show and Kayla Harrison on the show. Kayla says they are going to do a division for me. Then we had you on the show, and you said, we're not sure yet of what divisions we're doing for next year. And then Kayla comes back and wins her fight and says, I'm going to be a millionaire. So Can you clear that up yet, or has that decision been made as far as what we're going to do with that? And
as far as women's division, yeah, that's 100% going to happen.
Women's lightweight, right?
Lightweight, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So basically, you're building a division around her. I know she's pretty stern in her decision that she doesn't want to cut weight, but because featherweight is the last weight class that's highlighted for the ladies over at Bellator and the UFC,
right?
Was it hard to make that decision? You know, like to not convince her to do that, or
no?
It was stand out from those two.
It wasn't hard at all, to be honest. I think Kayla, her original plan was to eventually go down to 145. But when she fought at 155, she seemed to be comfortable there. And right now she's a wrecking machine. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That being said, she's going to face, bigger and better opponents. And so it really, there hasn't been a 155 division for the women. And there are some big ladies out there. I mean that in the most positive way.
In the athletic speak.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of 145ers that cut a lot of weight that probably want to fight at 55.
But the UFC just had a 145
title
reality show, right? They had 8
okay.
ladies. Yes, correct. And it ended with a title. And right away, some of them are already dropping to 35. That's why I was wondering, are there that many ladies that can fill out? I guess you're looking for 12 for the regular season, finishing out with 8. Is there a quality amount out there that we don't know at 155?
There is a few. There's a girl out of she's actually now living in the States, out of New Zealand, Jenna, who is a world kickboxing champion, and now I think she's 2 or 3-0 as an MMA fighter, but she has a lot of kickboxing experience, and again, any stand-up fighter they have to learn how to scramble. They have to learn that defend a takedown. If they can do those two things, they're going to be okay. They could hang with a lot of people.
Was that the girl we met I met in Arizona?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's about 5'10", I think.
Yeah.
She's tall, big girl. And I see her on pass. She hits hard. So I mean, there's some girls. There's a couple of Russian ladies that are sambo world champions that also looking to come into that division. So no, there's a few good female fighters at that weight class.
Mm-hmm. Urena Bars, I think about her too.
Yeah.
Urena Bars is the last. She's undefeated in Muay Thai. She fought Chris Cyborg on Access TV a few years ago. She defeated Chris
Ray
Cyborg.
and I watched that fight. We were there.
She's a tall Dutch kickboxer.
Oh yeah,
we were there for that fight.
Right.
She's fought
Hard
some
Rock,
MMA.
right? I think.
Yeah, it was on Line Fights.
Mm-hmm.
Is she fighting MMA now?
She has.
She has.
But I don't know if she has in a while. But
She
I
has.
know that she has she.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's another good name. Because Brad's right. Real tall lady. So I mean, give me a call.
Breaking news: Ali Abdelaziz has just signed Urena Bar. All right,
100%.
All right, we got to take a break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation Channel 93. Stay close. We'll be right back.